You are about to spend close to $1 million on a $400,000 house. Not if something goes wrong, not if the market crashes, not if you lose your job. If everything goes exactly as planned, if you make every single payment on time for 30 years, you will hand the bank roughly $958,000 for an asset that cost $400,000. The extra $558,000? That's not your house. That was never your house. That belonged to the bank from the moment you signed. And before you walked through that door, before you shook anyone's hand, your lender had already calculated a number. They called it your LTV, your loan-to-value ratio. You heard that term at closing. Maybe you nodded, maybe you moved on. But what that number actually does to your financial future is something almost nobody ever explains. We're going to get to that. But first, I need you to understand the mechanic underneath it. Because the homeownership trap isn't an accident. It isn't a flaw in the system. It is the system. And once you see how it works, you cannot unsee it. Before we go further, if you're new here, this channel exists to show you what the financial system actually does to your money. Hit subscribe and the bell, because every video we make could change how you think about your paycheck. Here's the part nobody explains. When you take out a 30-year mortgage, your monthly payment stays the same from month 1 to month 360. Same number, every single month. That consistency feels fair. It feels like you're chipping away at the debt evenly, like a straight line from what you owe to zero. That is not what is happening. Your payment is fixed, but what that payment is buying changes dramatically depending on where you are in the loan. And in the early years, the years when most people are living in the house, raising kids, building their life, almost none of that payment is buying the house. Almost all of it is buying the bank's profit. This is the mechanic. This is how it actually works. It's called amortization front-loading, and it is not a bug. It was designed this way. When a bank structures a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, they calculate your payment so that the interest owed for that month is paid first, before a single dollar touches your principal balance. And in the early years of a loan, the interest owed each month is enormous, because the interest is calculated on the full outstanding balance, which, in month 1, is the entire loan amount. Take a $400,000 mortgage at 7% interest. Your monthly payment is roughly $2,661. Of that payment, in month 1, $2,333 goes directly to the bank as interest. Only $328 reduces what you actually owe. You paid $2,600. You moved the needle $328. That's not a rounding error. That's the design. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but it evens out over time, right? The ratio shifts. Yes, it does shift, just very slowly. After 5 years of payments, 60 months, roughly $159,000 handed to the bank, you have reduced your $400,000 principal by approximately $21,000. You still owe $379,000. You have built about 5% equity beyond your down payment. After 10 years, you owe around $343,000. After 15 years, you finally cross the halfway point in paying down the loan, 15 years in on a 30-year mortgage. The balance doesn't reach 50% paid off until year 22. Stay with me. This is where it gets important. Because here is the detail that turns this from an interesting math fact into a financial trap. The average American doesn't stay in their home for 30 years. According to data from the National Association of Realtors and Federal Reserve housing surveys, the average American either moves or refinances their mortgage every 7 to 8 years. 7 to 8 years. Which means the average American spends the peak interest extraction years of their loan, years 1 through 8, when 80 to 85% of every payment is pure interest, and then resets. They sell, they move, they refinance, and the clock starts over. A new loan, month one again, $2,333 to the bank, $328 to equity. This is not a coincidence. The incentive structure of mortgage lending rewards early payoff from the bank's perspective. The bank collects the bulk of its total interest income in the first decade. If you stay for 30 years, they get paid gradually. But if you leave at year 7, which most people do, they've already collected the most profitable portion of the loan. And you walk away thinking you made a smart real estate move, maybe even made some money on appreciation, while the bank already won. Think about how a gym membership works. The gym makes money when you don't show up. Your mortgage works the same way. The bank profits most when you keep moving, keep refinancing, keep restarting month one. Every time you reset that amortization clock, you hand the most profitable years of the loan back to the lender. And here is the layer beneath the layer. Every time you sell and buy again, which is the completely normal American pattern of starter home, family home, upgrade, you pay closing costs of 2 to 5% of the loan value, you restart amortization, and you lock in a new interest rate. The bank wins 3 times in that single transaction. Once on the loan you just paid off, once on the new loan you just started, and once in fees on both sides of the transaction. The house isn't the investment. The mortgage is the bank's investment. In you. Now watch what happens over 20 years. Let's put 2 scenarios next to each other. Not theory, numbers. Scenario 1. You buy a $500,000 home in the year 2000. You put 10% down, $50,000, and take out a $450,000 mortgage at 8%, which was the going rate at the time. Your monthly payment is roughly $3,304. You live in the house, you make every payment, and 24 years later, in 2024, the house is worth approximately $1.1 million based on national average appreciation from the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. On paper, you made $600,000. Now let's look at what you actually spent to get there. Over 24 years, you paid approximately $950,000 in mortgage payments. Of that, roughly $720,000 went to interest. You also paid approximately $120,000 in property taxes, national average of around 1.1% annually on a home that was appreciating. Maintenance and repairs. The rule of thumb is 1% of home value per year, and on a home that grew from $500,000 to over $1 million, that's conservatively another $150,000 across 24 years. Insurance, roughly another $40,000. Add it up. You spent around $1,030,000 to generate $600,000 in paper appreciation, and that appreciation is locked inside the asset. You can't spend it without selling or borrowing against it, both of which trigger new costs. Your actual financial position is not what the headline number suggested. Pay attention to this number. Scenario 2. Same year 2000. Same $50,000 down payment. But instead of buying, you invest it in an S&P 500 index fund. You also invest the monthly difference between what you would have paid on the mortgage and what you actually pay in rent. Let's say rent on equivalent housing is $2,200 per month, a reasonable comparison for the year 2000. That's a monthly investment of roughly $1,100 into the index fund on top of your initial $50,000. The S&P 500 from January 2000 to January 2024 returned approximately 350% in total, including dividends reinvested. Your $50,000 lump sum alone, left untouched, would be worth approximately $225,000. Add the monthly contributions of $1,100 over 288 months, that's an additional contribution pool of roughly $317,000, which, compounding at S&P 500 rates over that period, grows to approximately $800,000. Combined, somewhere between $900,000 and $1.1 million in liquid, accessible, diversified assets. Versus Scenario 1, a paid-off house worth $1.1 million, minus 2 to 5% selling costs when you eventually liquidate, minus capital gains tax on the appreciation above your basis, and zero liquidity until that sale happens. The numbers are close. But Scenario 2's assets are liquid. Scenario 2's assets are diversified. Scenario 2 never had a year where a burst pipe cost $8,000 or a roof replacement cost $22,000. Here's what the data actually shows. The comparison isn't buying is always bad. The comparison is buying is almost never as financially superior as the culture tells you it is, and the mechanism that makes it worse than it looks is amortization front-loading. The interest you pay in the early years is real money that produces zero return. It is the price of the financing, not the price of the asset. And most people never separate those two numbers in their minds. The average American household spends 28 to 32% of gross income on housing costs, according to the Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies. For a household earning $80,000 a year, that's $22,000 to $26,000 annually, money that could be compounding elsewhere, and isn't. That's not a budgeting failure. That's what the standard mortgage structure was built to extract. If this data surprised you, you're not alone. Most people never see these numbers laid out this way. Subscribe so you never miss a breakdown, and drop a comment right now. Have you ever actually run a rent versus buy calculation for your own situation? What did the numbers tell you? I want to see what people are actually working with. So what do you actually do with this? Because here is where most finance content stops. It shows you the trap, names the villain, leaves you feeling angry and stuck. That is not what this channel is for. The system has a mechanic. Mechanics can be understood, and anything you can understand, you can work around. 3 steps, concrete, doable this week. Step 1. Get your personal break-even number. Today, before you close this tab, open a browser and go to the New York Times Rent versus Buy calculator. I'll link it in the description below. It takes about 5 minutes. You enter your specific numbers, the home price you're considering or currently in, your local rent equivalent, your mortgage rate, your expected years in the home, your local property tax rate. The calculator spits out the exact number of years you need to stay in that home before buying becomes mathematically better than renting. For most American cities right now, that number is between 6 and 12 years. In high cost of living markets, San Francisco, New York, Boston, Seattle, it frequently exceeds 15 years. Which means if you buy in one of those markets and move in 7 years, which is the national average, you would have been better off renting every single time. Most people making the biggest financial decision of their lives have never run this calculation. Not once. It takes 5 minutes. Do it before you close this video. And if you already own, run it anyway. Not to feel regret, to understand your actual position. To know whether your equity is building at the rate you think it is, or whether you are in the early amortization years where the bank is still extracting most of each payment. Step 2. Pull your amortization schedule and read month 1. If you have a mortgage, log into your lender portal or call your servicer and ask for a full amortization schedule. Every lender is required to provide this. If you are shopping for a home, ask any lender for an amortization table on any loan quote before you sign anything. Open that table. Find month 1. Look at 2 columns, interest paid and principal paid. Read those numbers side by side. Do not look away from them. That is the mechanic, right there, in your specific numbers on your specific loan. Not theory, not someone else's mortgage. Yours. Now scroll to year 5, year 10. Watch the ratio shift. Notice how slowly it moves. Notice when you finally hit the point where more than half your payment is reducing principal rather than paying interest. For most 30-year mortgages at current rates, that crossover doesn't happen until somewhere between year 20 and year 23. This is not information your lender volunteered. It was in the documents, but it was never explained. Now you have explained it to yourself. Step 3. Learn the one lever that directly attacks the front-loading mechanic. Extra principal payments. When you make an additional payment toward your mortgage principal, even a small one, even $50 a month, that money bypasses the interest calculation entirely. It goes straight to reducing the balance. And because next month's interest is calculated on the new, lower balance, every extra principal payment you make slightly reduces every future interest charge for the rest of the loan. On a $400,000 mortgage at 7%, paying an extra $200 per month toward principal from the start saves approximately $47,000 in interest over the life of the loan and cuts roughly 4 years off your payoff timeline. $200 a month. $47,000 saved. Most people don't know this because most lenders don't explain it. The incentive to explain it does not exist on their side of the table. If you are not yet buying, this information changes how you evaluate a loan. A slightly higher down payment reduces the principal, which reduces the interest front-loading from month 1. A 15-year mortgage, which carries a higher payment but a significantly lower interest rate, dramatically compresses the front-loading window. These are real levers. They are available to you right now. And this is where the LTV ratio comes back. Remember that number your lender calculated before you walked in, your loan-to-value ratio? Your LTV is the percentage of the home's value that you're financing. A $400,000 loan on a $500,000 home is an 80% LTV. The bank uses this number to assess their risk. But here's what they don't tell you. Your LTV is also your primary tool for negotiating better terms, removing private mortgage insurance earlier than required, and accessing refinance options that can reset your rate without restarting the full amortization clock. When your LTV drops below 80% through appreciation or extra payments, you can request the removal of PMI, private mortgage insurance, which on many loans runs an additional $100 to $200 per month. That is money currently going nowhere that can immediately be redirected to extra principal, which accelerates equity, which drops your LTV further. The mechanic can work in your direction, but only if you know it exists. The house is not the enemy. The uninformed use of debt is the enemy, and information is the only thing that changes that equation. 3 things to take away from everything you just heard. First, the mechanism has a name: amortization front-loading. It is not a secret, it is not illegal, and it is not unique to any one lender. It is baked into the structure of every standard mortgage in America. The fact that you were never taught this word before today is not an accident. It is simply not in anyone's financial interest to teach it to you, except your own. Second, you have almost certainly been building less equity than you thought. If you are in the first 10 years of a 30-year mortgage, the majority of every payment you have made has gone to interest, not ownership. That is not a failure on your part. That is the math of the instrument you were handed. Now that you can see it, you can measure it accurately and make decisions from real numbers instead of assumptions. Third, the system was not broken when it was designed. It worked exactly as intended. For the bank. The trap is not that homeownership is bad. The trap is that the culture handed you a script. Buy as soon as you can, as much as you can, stretch for the best neighborhood you can afford, without ever showing you the amortization table underneath that script. You were not bad with money. You were handed a product whose most important feature was never explained to you. That changes now. The first step is to pinpoint the exact mechanism within the financial system that is influencing your circumstances. This could involve interest rates, lending policies, or regulatory changes that directly impact your finances. By clearly identifying this element, You now know something most homeowners, and most renters considering buying, have never taken 5 minutes to understand. Use it. Here is what comes next, and I need you to hear this clearly. We just established that a house, one of the most culturally celebrated financial moves an American can make, is running a hidden extraction mechanism against your equity for the first 2 decades of ownership. So the obvious question is, if not the house, where does the money go instead? The answer most people reach for is the savings account. Put it in the bank, keep it safe, let it grow. That answer is the next trap. And the math on that one is worse, because it is slower, quieter, and disguised as responsibility. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how your savings account is losing you money right now. Not in fees, not in bad investments, just by existing, and the specific number that proves it. If you make any decisions about where to keep your cash before you watch that video, you will be making them without a piece of information that costs you hundreds of dollars every single year you ignore it. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. It drops this Friday. And before you go, have you ever actually run a rent versus buy calculation for your own situation? Not a general sense of what the market is doing. Your numbers, your city, your timeline. Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to see what people are actually working with out there. See you Friday. Gain a better understanding of how it shapes your current situation. This clarity is essential for determining the most effective way to address any challenges you may face.